Hey, True Believers, England Teen here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, and this time we're looking at one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, it's my first comic book crush. We're looking at She-Hulk, ladies and gentlemen. She-Hulk was created in 1977 by none other than Stan the Man Lee and John Buscema because, and I kid you not, the Bionic Woman. Seriously. So the $6 Million Man was a popular TV show, comes out, and they decide to make a female version of the $6 Million Man, call her the Bionic Woman, and boom, and Stan Lee thought, whoa, wait a second. What if they decide to do that with the Hulk, which is on TV now? So before anybody else could, Stan created the She-Hulk, the last Marvel character before he created Ravage 20 years later. So, wow. A lot of fun, maybe like 15 years. Anyway, this is a commissioned video, and thank you for that. If you'd like to commission a video, go on over to Ko-Fi and pick your topic, pick your subject, and we'll get the video out to you ASAP. Now, everything at this point is going to be going to my daughter, who has injured herself and will be out of work for 3 weeks. So if you do that, anything in the next few months will be going to her. And yeah, I'd like to thank anybody who does this. And with all that aside, let's get this party started and jump into She-Hulk #1, Savage She-Hulk #1. And of course, always talk about the cover first. And basically what we're looking at here is a takeoff on Incredible Hulk #1. I mean, it's basically the same cover with people cowering away. You got the smaller version growing into the larger version and so forth. Just the female. That's it. Easy peasy. Not a bad cover. I would like to say it's iconic, but it's a copy, so I just don't see it as an iconic cover. The She-Hulk lives. Call him David or Bruce or Bob. What does it matter? The important thing is, until today, the tormented Dr. Banner was unlike any other human on Earth. Till today. For on this day begins the startling saga of a secret revealed, a tragedy shared, and a monster aborning. That's bad, Stan. Man, that is just... okay, so we have Bruce Banner. It's the splash page, and he's walking. He's thinking to himself, man, I need help. I need somebody to confide in. Last time I saw Jen, she was just my kid cousin. Now she's a lawyer here in Los Angeles. Jen, she's the one. She's my last hope. So Bruce Banner bursts into his cousin's office. We get the first appearance of Jennifer Walters, and he's talking about how she's a big-time criminal lawyer, and she calls him Doc because he used to go to medical school before he was a nuclear physicist. And he breaks down and he says, I'm in trouble, Jen. I've got the army after me. I got the cops after me, and everything's gone wrong. And she says, what happened? You got to tell me everything. So he says, okay, I'll tell you what I've become. And then we get a basic retelling of his origin. Of course, not the whole issue #1, just the part right up to the point where he becomes the Hulk. So Jen's shocked and astonished, but she says, okay, look, we can figure this out. Just come on home with me. And they're driving along, and we see that she's being followed by some mobsters while she's telling Bruce Banner what's going on. I keep busy. Right now I'm defending a hood named Moncton. He's accused of murdering Nick Trask's bodyguard. Moncton's no saint, but he's being framed. Trask hates Moncton. He set the whole thing up, but I can't prove it. And we see that the car is getting closer to her. Of course, being the loving cousin, Bruce shows his concern. What'll you do? How do you intend to defend your client? I've got a plan. I planted a rumor that I found some secret evidence proving Trask himself murdered his bodyguard. That ought to shake him up. But if Trask really is a killer, he may try to silence you permanently. Come on, those things only happen in the movies. And we see the mobsters following him. They stopped in the driveway. That's where she lives. Okay, as soon as she gets out of the car, you know what to do. Jen, you're playing with fire. You're too vulnerable, too unprotected. Now, the mobsters yell and begin to shoot at Jen. We see her get hit. I'll finish her off, Trask said, to make sure. She's still breathing. I have to save her somehow. This hose, I've seen cops use it for riot control. Yeah, not a garden hose, dude. They use fire hoses. That's not going to work. That's just going to annoy someone, and they're going to blow your freaking brains out. He goes, it's working. It's pushing him back. I'm sorry. I'm reading a book about a man who turns into a green monster who's about to turn his cousin into a green monster. And the most unbelievable thing is he's pushing a guy back with a garden hose. Anyway, he carries the unconscious Jen into her house. The mobsters make their escape. They tried to kill her and they're getting away. But I've got to stay calm. Only Banner can help her now, not the Hulk. So Bruce figures he could save her. He's afraid to take her to a hospital or he'll get caught. And he figures a quick transfusion will help her before she dies. And he sees across the street there's a doctor's shingle, so he knows a doctor lives there. He needs the equipment to do the transfusion, so he breaks in, telling himself he has to remain calm so he doesn't become the Incredible Hulk. I still remember her blood type is the same as mine. Now if I could just do it fast enough. And he gets everything ready. Hang in there, kid. You're going to make it. You gotta make it. It's done. Now for the worst part. Waiting. Slowly, maddeningly, the long, torturous minutes crawl by until, Doc, what happened? Thank God. It's over. You made it. Operator, get me the police. I know it wasn't as widespread in 1980, but I do know that 911 was established before then. Just saying. Also, thanks for the blood transfusion and everything, cousin, but can you get the bullet out of my back? That would be friendly. We cut to the cops and the paramedics bringing Jen to the hospital, and they want to question Bruce Banner as a suspect at one point, and he's saying, I can't be taken to the jail cell. They'll find out I can't. And he turns into the Incredible Hulk and bursts through a wall. The next day, he's looking through the papers just to find out if Jen was okay. He finds out she is and figures it's now time for him to leave because he's not making her safe. And we cut to the hospital. Why do I feel so strange, Jen tells herself. My skin, my bones seem to be tingling. Must be that medicine they gave me. But what of Doc? He was so right about Trask. Why didn't I listen? He saved my life if I hadn't been with him. But why did he run off like that without a word? The Hulk. Of course, he was afraid they'd learn his secret, but I wanted to help him. She's worrying about Bruce when she sees some nurses come in, some doctors, I guess, at this point. And she's like, wait a second, why does it take 3 of you to administer my medicine? And one of them's like, well, you're not going to like the answer, lady. And he starts to put chloroform over her face. And when all of a sudden, boom, ladies and gentlemen, the very first appearance of She-Hulk. Now let's see how tough you are against me. It's a girl, but look at the size of her. Her skin, it's green. It's like she's some kind of She-Hulk. I don't care what you call her. This'll polish her off, the mobster says while drawing a gun. She's lifting the whole iron bed like it's nothing. You called me a She-Hulk, and a She-Hulk I'll be. And we see the monsters? We see the mobsters running out of the room. Hurry, get in here. She's coming after us. No way she'll get us now. And we see the She-Hulk in pursuit. So She-Hulk rips open the elevator doors as the men try to make her escape, but she grabs on to the cable. Then she says, they haven't reached safety yet, and they never will. And then, for some reason, Stan Lee writes her as surprised she's strong, even though she seemed to know she was strong right away. It's working. I'm pulling the car back up again. And now, she rips a hole in the roof. She's ripping the car apart to get us. Quick, push the open door button. That's not how elevators work. That isn't how... The whole cable isn't where it needs to be. The door's not where it used to... Okay. Anyway, let's continue. She pursues the mobsters going through the hospital, throwing nurses, doctors, orderlies out of her way. When she gets to the ground level, stop driving away, won't save you. Not from me, she says, ripping up a street sign. Step on it. There's no telling what she's gonna do. I have the strength now, the power. I can do anything. Anything, she says as she throws the street sign at their car. What happened? What hit us? Oh no, you won't believe it. It looks like the street sign actually knocks the tires off of the car. Come out, little man, you've got some talking to do. Anything, don't hurt me, please. It was Trask. He paid us to kill the Walters dame. He was afraid she'd prove he framed Moncton for murder. The murder that Trask committed himself? Yeah, right, I swear it. You heard that, they're yours. Come back, you can't. You want to catch me? Oh, great. I just totally screwed that up. Anyway, she runs away saying, if you want me, catch me. And the cops go about arresting the mobsters. My anger's fading, and so is my strength. Must get back fast. So She-Hulk runs up the stairs of the hospital, making it to her room as he transforms back into Jen Walters when a nurse walks in and asks her, "Miss Walters, what are you doing in here? I was frightened, all that yelling and fighting. You poor dear, lucky you weren't hurt." "Yes, lucky. That female savage was just horrible. But don't worry, it's over now." How wrong she is. It isn't over, it's just the beginning. The blood transfusion must have caused it. I've become a gamma-ray monster like poor Doc. But I'll learn to live with it from now on. Whatever Jennifer Walters can't handle, the She-Hulk will do. And so, the saga starts. This is a good yet deceptively simple story. And it is exactly what it is. It was a rush job comic book that was made so nobody else could copyright She-Hulk. That's it. And it reads like that too. But it's fun. There's not a lot to joke about here. There's not a lot to complain about. Just I think there was only one or two spots where I was like, yeah, okay, now you're stepping out of bounds. I mean, but it's very cliched. The mobsters, you know, like he says, wait a second, blah, 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 this is going to happen. No, that only happens in the movies. It's entertaining, though. And I liked it. I read She-Hulk, what was it, 1 through 25, I believe. And then, of course, when John Byrne came out, he did, to me, the definitive She-Hulk. But even before that, we started to get a She-Hulk who was intelligent. And basically just Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk form. Still one of my favorite comics, still one of my favorite characters. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? What did you think of She-Hulk #1? Have you read it before? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and make sure your notifications are on, whether you're using computer or cell phone or whatever. Google, I know, is making viewers jump through a lot more hoops these days. And speaking of jumping through hoops, if you want to make me do that, go on over to Ko-Fi, pick out a video to commission. Just the topic, the subject, whatever, and I'll get that video out to you ASAP. And if you just want to support the channel, there are tip jars. Just drop $1 in the till, and that will help us keep the lights on and help us keep making videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.